Alarm goes off at 4:45. Roll out of bed, rub the sleep from my eyes. Throw on a shirt and some jeans.
Hi, welcome back to Tanky's Playtime here at Tanky's Playtime Central. So we've got some new developments. We've got an engine in. That's a cracking start. We did have a lot of footage on making the adaptation plate. Problem is, last night I went to upload it and I set it all up for upload. I went to bed. I like I would do normally. I'd like finish it late, video a bit, because that bit I'm not that clever at. Left it reload. Woke up this morning, thought, oh, should be up there now. Let's go and do the thumbnail. It didn't upload. Not only did it not upload, it wiped the whole video, and half of the footage I don't have no more because I'm doing this all off of potato phones. So unfortunately I don't cover enough. So I'm going to basically give you a general gist of what we've done to make this adaptation plate. I do still have some footage, but it's the later part of what we did to this adaptation plate to get it work. So we're just going to do a sit rep on this and try and show you how. Well, I can't even show you how I've done it, but I'm going to have to teach you. Well, not teach you. I can't even show you how to do it, but I might be able to help out in some way, shape or form. It's a bit of a shame. It's annoying, but I can't get the data back. It is, my computer had a right wobbly. It's lost a lot. So, but like I said, I've got half the footage, so I'm going to try and, in a manner, talk about how we did the plate. So, first of all, as every story starts, let's start at the beginning. There's an engineering company down the road from me, as I said about in the last video, and Dave took the flywheel off the lister. They also took the flywheel off the major. I took them both down there, spoke to them. Beautiful people, magical people, you know, nothing's a problem, everything, yeah, we can do that. So we're on a winner, someone who actually is passionate about doing things like this. Brilliant. So he took the flywheel off the lister. He took the flywheel. So the flywheel off the lister is C-shaped, I guess. So it's 6 bolts are inside, and you've got 2 walls with a little flange. So with 8 bolts in, which was a ring gear for the original adaptation plate, or drive plate, whatever you want to call it, around the gearbox. So what he done, he took my flywheel off from the Fordson major, and I'll show you. I can show you a video of this. Next video I shall have. Well, in fact, I might even just do a separate video of a machining that he did on it. So what he did, he put that flywheel on a lathe. He took out, I reckon he probably took 1.5 inches off circumference of that flywheel. He also faced it for me, so it's got a nice brand new face to it for clutch side. And then on the back, because obviously you got a starter ring, everything, I obviously took starter ring off, and he faced the back for me too, and then drilled 8 holes in. Done this beautiful job of it, drilled me 8 holes, and in the right places where it was. So basically when I put a plate into that C, I can then bolt through. You can't get nothing stronger, and with being in the lathe, it is perfectly centre. He also made me up a little tool, so a little bit of 40mm bar, round bar. He lathed off one side so it fits into the spriget. And then what I did then, I bought a piece of steel, 500 by 500mm square. I drew a cross through it to find the centre of it. I drilled a 40mm hole on it. Great. That's now set for the adaptation. That's set now in the centre. So when I got my flywheels back, because they were brilliant, obviously didn't have to touch the lister one. I could bolt that straight back into the engine. I then re-bolted in on the back of the old major engine, put the flywheel back on with my little centre on, hung the plate on. It's bang centre, it's lovely. I got a little pencil and I drew in 4 separate holes. I then drilled said holes and tapped them. Put it back on the major. Perfect, they fit. Can't do much better than that. I then took this plate now with the 4 separate holes in. I put them onto the gearbox. So the 40mm hole sat over the shaft. Perfect. I drew the rest of the holes in it. Everything's set square. Drilled them, tapped them. That's it. It fits the gearbox. What more could you want? It's central and it works. I then got the old gearbox off the lister. It was kicking around in the yard here. I was going to throw scrap. Luckily I hadn't yet. The shaft on that was like 32mm, something like that. So I just got duct tape wrapped around it until I made the point where it was 40mm. Sat that over the plate, and then I could find the holes, or 12 holes, for the lister engine. Drilled them, just straight drilled. Done. That gave me a central point there. We got those holes. In theory now, everything works. The only thing is 4 of the holes I couldn't use on the sides. So if your engine was upright, on the sides, both sides, 4 holes, I couldn't use because they clashed with the other holes. So what my idea was is when I build the rails, which will be on part 4, building the rails, I'll use the rails as engine bolting as well. Problem solved. I was in the video. I did a little video fitting this plate up, everything all good. Yeah, lovely. Tonight I said I'm gonna fit this all. Cue the engine fitting montage with music, lots of music, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bell button. Cue the music. Nah, that didn't work either. So I was literally bolting the plate onto the. And what I did as well, I recessed the plate for the bolts that go into the back of the lister, so it sits flush. So everything sits flush. Perfect. Bolt that plate on, magic. I thought, alright, get a clutch on. So I bolted the clutch in, and I think I've still got some of this footage. Probably not of me, but yeah, later on clutch fit. So I thought, right, I'll fit the clutch in as you do. So I got a centre point, pivot. I didn't have a shaft, so again, it was a bar with some tape. It was all going so well. So well. We were clutching, getting ready to fit it all, and then disaster struck. I can't believe it. Shit a bolt. And at that point, I just went, stuff it. I'll call it a night. Well, I was going to put that engine in that night, but I have to call it a night. So I took it all out, took it apart again, found out why the bolt sheared off. And A, heavy-handed tanky. B, because I had it quite a bit faced off, because obviously we've took that flywheel to a certain distance, because I needed to keep the distances in the same, but allow for the plate. So we took a fair bit of material off the front of that flywheel. Bolts weren't threaded all the way. They had a shank on them. And now, because it's been faced, the shank was quite long. So I've pulled it in, and I've then started to pull the shank into the threads, and also the blind hole. So, oops, that's what happened there. Luckily, I got it out. I don't know how. I managed to drill through the plate, through the old bolt. I tapped a bloody little Torx bit in. Tap that in, unwound it. I thought, oh my days, that's good. And because it's all in set, so the main flywheel's still in the engine. I've got my Fordson bit off. I've got my clutch pack all off. I decided, actually, you know what? I could set that flywheel up on the bench, put the clutch pack in. I can look at it physically and align that clutch plate. Perfect. We did. And then what I did is I did a little cheat. Hopefully it might throw the balance a little bit. It might not. We'll find out when we get there. We'll cross that bridge. So obviously on my Fordson flywheel, it's bolted all the way around the outer circumference to the other flywheel. So I could put that clutch pack on, and then the whole thing was quite heavy, but in 8 bolts, bang, done. That you can't get much more central. I then decided, let's go for it and give it a wiggle, and in it went. So, and this is the point where now I can actually show you a bit of footage. I can show you a little bit of footage of making a plate. So when I went to, I had to drill a massive piece out the center of the clutch. I didn't want to use a gas axe in there because I love gas axes. I'm very good with them. That's one thing I am good with. Not good at much else, but I'm good with a gas axe. But what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to warp the plate. So I basically drilled lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of holes all the way around until it cleared enough for the flywheel. So I've got that, and I'll show you the rest. So don't forget, like and subscribe. Let's play some VT, shall we? Okay, so we'll let that cool down for a minute, and then we'll get the grinder on it. We'll clean up all those edges and make it lovely. I mean, I didn't take it all the way to the line, so I've got a bit of cleaning up to do with the grinder, but I thought we'll get the worst of the material off. And then I didn't want to gas the center out, mainly because I didn't want to warp him, but I didn't think it would do too much on the edges. So I wasn't quite so scared at that point, but as you see, I can still see the line where I still haven't got to, but I'd rather just clean that up with a grinder. So let's leave that cool down for a minute. Let's have a cup of tea. That'd be a great idea. So there we are. We have one adaptation plate, all ground up, all lovely. I'm going to leave it a little bit rustic. Tractor's not perfectly cast. Why should that be perfectly cast? Obviously, we ain't going to see that in here, but it's take the smooth off it. So we should be ready now to get this engine in. Thank God for that. So I'm going to see if I can swing this engine in tonight. So let's go for it. Cue the music. Gooey. This I bloody deserve. Should we have a look? What we got? A bit like Little Britain or a foul. That is mounted. I've been having a look at the front axle as well. I think what we're going to do in this video is, because we're going to make the rails, get this axle in. I'm going to have a look at, I'm going to go and spy on some other people's builds, because I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is turn that axle the other way. Obviously the tombstone will stay the same direction, but I'm going to rotate that axle somehow. But I also want to keep, so basically I want the drag link to run off the front. But obviously I need track rod. I need a track rod to stay where it is. No, I don't. What am I talking about? What I want to do is make that track rod in the front. But I also need to make sure that the drag link stays on that side. Oh, nice coffee. And that's what I want to do. So we're going to, in this episode, we're going to get this axle mounted so it sits on its own wheels, especially now that the thing is actually bolted in. That's quite impressive, actually, now it's bolted in. Another thing I'm going to do as well is give the floor a bloody good clean and just have a bit of a tidy up around it, actually. So watch this space. Let's see what happens on this next exciting episode. I mean, I'm really happy the way it's gone. It's going well. Got the smoky stack. I'm going to alter that a little bit. Yeah. We want to see smokies come out. So in theory, this loss of footage has actually done you all a favour, because it was an episode of me just drilling bloody holes. And I'll tell you what, there was a lot of holes and a lot of drilling, and it took some time. The actual video was 47 minutes of me basically drilling holes, so saved you the boring. It's done you. It's saved you the boring factor. I might have a shave tonight. So yeah, you can see what's going on. The engine's in. Next step we're going to do is do rails. I'm sorry this late video took a while. Unfortunately, it does sometimes. I've done some cool things. I've just done a prom. Just driving a friend's daughter to the prom. That was good. That's a good experience. Yeah, it's been all sorts going on. I've been to see Iron Maiden. That was an awesome night. I brought back a cold from seeing Iron Maiden. Yeah, that made things a bit difficult. And just general work has sort of took over a bit. So, but that's what work does. You need to do the work to be able to afford to be able to do things. So, yeah, here we are. Yeah, just things have taken over. So. But no, I shouldn't be quite so long with videos this time. Don't forget, like and subscribe. And also hit the bell button. Don't forget a little bell button. So yeah, we're gonna, this engine's in. I want to get the axle in now. I've got to make the rails. So that's going to be on part 4. The rails, making it move in. And then hopefully we'll do a part 5 where it is on the key, as it were. So with the electrics, batteries, battery boxes, you know, stuff like that. I need to look at air filters, what I'm going to do for there. Obviously we've got extended bonnet. I might source that out, because the bloke who done my flywheel, he's done one of these bonnets already, so I might just outsource that to him and say, please, can you do that? Done such a lovely job on the flywheels. And I say, I'll be releasing a video quite soonish. Just got to get the footage off him. So he videoed it getting turned on the lathe. I'm sure that'd be nice and interesting. I know I'm looking forward to seeing it. And he's saying you might be able to see what he did. So yeah, that's it from me. So I might have a cup of tea and go from there. And much else. Don't forget, keep an eye out for Reba Racing. He'll be coming out with videos soon. He's building an engine. Well, we're building an engine. So that's also takes some time as well, and I need to get on and weld that shell up. Doesn't need a lot, just needs a bit. So don't forget, check Reba Racing out. And it's MGB GT build. So thank you very much for watching.
Alarm goes on at 4:45. Roll out of bed, rub the sleep from my eyes. Throw on a shirt and some jeans.